What's up, guys and gals? It's Griever back here, bringing you guys the latest behind-the-bar reviews for Seven Deadly Sins, chapter 332. Let's get going, because this chapter, ladies and gentlemen, well, there are some problems. But after the absolute trash heap, after the giant pile of audacity and abysmality. Yes, I just made up a new word. I was thinking abysmal, and then I was like, yeah, but abysmal doesn't work like that, like a proper noun. So whatever. I'm making up words as on the fly as we go. After that chapter last week, it's really hard to be, after just all that, to be mad about just some simple problems in this chapter. Let's be honest here. Because this chapter, we finally got the pros outweigh the cons. You know what the pro is? The damn demon lord, demon king, whatever you want to call him, worst father of the year, is finally 100% officially, you know what? I don't know if I can actually say it, because I have this sinking feeling. I have this looming presence over the back of my shoulder. Like I have to keep looking over to make sure that Nakaba is not behind me going like this. Like, these fucking idiots. They think that Demon King finally died. Oh no. 8 times a charm, ladies and gentlemen. That's when the true Demon King finally shows up. Like, it's so hard to believe it that I'm skeptical, even looking at it in black and white, that it could be the truth. That this worst shonen villain, I think, and guys, remember that I love Taizai, but there are series like Naruto. You guys know, I hate Naruto as a series overall. There are good points to Naruto, but overall, I do not like the series. I would never purchase anything Naruto related. However, Demon King is a worse villain than anything in that series, and I don't even like that series. You know, it's like I'm using that not to put out hate, but to put a point on how bad this villain is. I can understand. I mean, of course I'm biased. Everybody's biased about series that they like and don't like, but I can tell you right now that this is the worst villain in all of running. Seinen, Shonen, I don't care what you read One Punch Man, Taizai, One Piece, Dr. Stone, My Hero Academia, Black Clover. I don't care what you read. Toriko, Bleach, Full Metal Alchemist, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Z. I don't care what you read. Nothing has been this bad. Nothing has been as bad as this. Like, I really can't think of a villain that has ever been this disappointing. So if he is truly dead, if I take this chapter at face value, then I can't really rag on this chapter too harshly, because this is what we've all wanted. We've been asking for it for months. It finally happened. How mad do you really want to be about it? You know, take the W, guys. Let's take that W. Let's frame it on the goddamn... Well, I seem to be missing some walls back here right now. But let's put a W and frame it on the wall. Because I think it's real this time. I know. There's still... how do you still have hope that Nakaba did something right? I know. I'm with you on that. But let's just go through the rest of the chapter, because it starts off at the beginning of, the end of the last chapter. Meliodas has finally full countered the Demon King. Davy Jones mixed with the friggin' first Dragonborn DLC thing, blown it to bits, and no more. That's the end of it. Everybody's kind of like, oh, get out of the way of all the falling rocks and mountains and stuff. And there's some okay art here. It's fine. You know, it's basically, the first few pages is making sure that Elizabeth is okay. And for some reason, Zeldris, like, can't Gelda, like, fly and shit? Like, at least float in the air? Like, why specifically? Because here's a weird thing, is that the first problem with the chapter that people will have. Okay, Demon King is destroyed, assault mode Meliodas, blah, blah, blah. Zell, where is Zell? We're all like, oh no. Then, best angel, the best boy, the best guy, our lovable friend, Mael, whatever you want to call him, Mael, the Archangel, shows up with heat tap. He brought snacks. He brought the snacks and he brought the heat tap. When you're feeling sapped, bring the tap. Now, anybody who watches this and has not seen Dragon Ball Z Abridged, you're going to be like, what the hell is Griever talking about right now? But this is my promotion to go watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Not that they need it, but that shit is funny as fuck. So, either way, this is the first problem with the chapter. Miles shows up and it's like, I made it in time. Zelda's like, I need no help from you. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? No. And that's all he does. He doesn't speak for the rest of the chapter, I'm pretty sure. I don't even think we see him in a background panel after this. He basically saves Eldris, who was with Elizabeth and Gelda. You'd think Meliodas could have just zip everybody if that were the case. It feels like they just shoehorned him in. I thought he peaced, but he was literally sitting back, eating popcorn, watching the Sins do all the dirty work. You can excuse Gelda's not strong enough. Elizabeth, you can't excuse that shit. Zeldris is really weakened after being the goddamn host. But, oh man. I don't even know what to do about Mile. I just don't. Thankfully, it was one page of what, and then we move on. So, everyone's basically going through their shtick. Even Invigorate from Elizabeth, everybody's healing up and stuff, and they're like, no, we still can't move. Merlin pretty much confirms about what we all thought Limit Break was. It is basically going from taking a level 70 character, making them level 99 temporarily. Very Gone from Hunter x Hunter. You guys know that series. Is similar idea here, and it's still crap. It's still, where was this ability for the last 331 chapters? Well, no, sorry, only 330. Only 330 chapters she could have used this too. She didn't use it in chapter 331. So, but outside of that, because that's a problem with the last chapter, not this one. Outside of that, we do get some comedic moments. We get Gother can still move and stuff, but he starts breaking because he's like, if I move too much, I'm a doll, so I don't suffer pain or fatigue like that, but still, if I move too much, this body will shatter and break. And I'm like, damn, that doll is durable. Wheelchair Gother, where's he at? Because he made something incredible here. And then we have Bon and King. King doesn't know what marriage is or how to get married. Is that? I guess that does make sense because that's a human concept in Taizai and stuff. It's not really something that the giants and the fairies do necessarily, but I don't know. Once again, I just find really that's what we're doing with this. I don't know, something about it. At first I found it funny, and then I was kind of like, okay, whatever. And then they talk about they know all the details, what marriage entails, what it means and stuff. I guess I don't know. Anyways, moving on from that comedic element, we get Elizabeth, Meliodas. Everybody's basically doing okay. Zeldris shows up, and basically here's where problem number 2 happens. Zeldris shows up, still battered and beaten, and he just basically goes, "Hey, Meliodas, I got something to ask you." He's like, "Yeah, what's up, brother?" And he says, "This is Nakaba creating another issue that I didn't even consider. Out of my entire rant last chapter, this wasn't even a thought. And Nakaba, he created another non-thought about problem by most of the fans. Can I assume that most of us did not think about this? We just didn't, because I didn't. I can see why it would be smart, to think about, but for right now, Nakaba, you got too many problems. Why are you bringing this up? The blast, the combo attack was impressive, but that had the power to wipe out all Britannia. Okay, we can accept that. The thing I can't accept is, but even attacking and focusing on the Demon King with it, that should have still wiped out all of Britannia. How did you make it so you didn't destroy the whole continent while you were at it? And that's something that didn't even cross my mind last chapter or this chapter until you goddamn well brought it up. This isn't Dragon Ball Z where we're constantly thinking about aiming Kamehameha's Super Saiyan level at the planet. We know what's going to happen because that has been a thing throughout the series. telling us that the place would be wiped out. Like, this was the final attack. It's one of those things where you assume, you just kind of took the assumption that, okay, it disintegrates when it destroys the Demon King. It's not going to keep going. They don't really go into the whole, it's acting like a Kamehameha, Final Flash sort of idea from Dragon Ball Z. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't really think of this attack in that way, that, oh yeah, the beam will keep going, the attack will keep going, it'll just keep smashing until it's done its duty. And you brought this up just to bring up a bullshit explanation as to why it didn't blow up all of Britannia. In this whole, we see the lake. Yes, the art is cool. The concept might have been cool. If Nakaba hadn't caused us so many storytelling and plot device issues up to this point, this might have been something a little more accepted. But because of the state Taizai is in no fault to the fan base, but all the fault to Nakaba, this, or potentially his editors too, I don't know, but this whole lake thing, this feels bad. Basically here, it's explained that the lake, even without a goblet, a vessel, a holding, a whatever, I forget the words Eldris used, or Merlin, or whoever was talking, explaining it, without a container, this thing still can retain its form. It has this immense power. And see, this just brings back up the fact that where was this lake this entire series that everyone seemed to know about and nobody utilized before? Like, God damn, guys. And then they have this whole, it was still here the whole time, and it just formed, and it managed to take the brunt attack. Like, they knew that was their foolproof plan. Something that I'm sure is, once again, unprecedented, never happened before. No one's ever actually destroyed the lake and then used the lake to absorb a Britannia-busting attack before. I'm confident in saying that even if that was the case, Meliodas nor Merlin knew that had happened. So there was a gamble that paid off, way too convenient. And the thing that pisses me off about this isn't the bad explanation with the lake, but the fact is, as I said before, I didn't even consider that to be something that could have potentially happened. Like, I didn't. I assumed the attack hit the Demon King, destroyed the Demon King, big crater, end of story. I didn't assume that the attack would keep going like a goddamn Kamehameha. Like, Nakaba, you created more problems. You created another bullshit explanation for something the fans didn't even think about. Or at least I didn't. Maybe I'm in the minority here and I'm just spitballing, but no, I do not like this. And then we get the credit to Merlin, of course. Chubb in my Discord, by the way, started a Discord. I'll be plugging and promoting that shamelessly at the end of the video for you guys to go check out. Link will be in the description. Chubb said the shark sin of gluttony. That is what, because Game Shark, right? I've always called Merlin the cheat code, the Game Shark, because calling her a plot device or plot convenient is too nice. You have to literally call a spade a spade. This is the whole damn suit of spades in this case. And Merlin always has been. She is a game shark. She is broken. A true example of broken. And here she is again. The shark sin of gluttony. Now, I did borrow that from Chubb, so shout out to Chubb in my Discord and stuff like that. Apparently, he has a video on some YouTube channel that he will not reveal to any of us because we are so lowly. I'm just kidding. But he actually has a video with over 200,000 views. I never got one like that, so kudos to him. Kudos to him. But that being said, pretty much this whole explanation thing is just, it's not good. It's not handled well, and it wasn't even a problem that needed addressing. Nakaba created a non-existent problem and addressed it poorly. Now, here is where there's going to be a bit of a translation thing. As I said, I wanted to get this video out. I didn't want to be late to the party, so to speak. But Once again, guys, when it's dialogue-heavy chapters, when it's story progression chapters, I hate using this this translation of Taizai. I like to wait for the later one, the more clean one, because that I've been caught with this before, because this explanation here doesn't make sense to me. It might be worded better so it makes more sense in a later translation. We'll just have to wait and see. So I won't harp about this too much, but it seems ridiculous from the standpoint I can read it. The Ten Commandments are laying there on the ground, sizzling out, but still alive. Merlin's explanation to this is pretty much, the Demon King is a god after all. Okay, I can accept that fact. We've kind of tooled around with King, Lord, God. We kind of knew that, right? And we knew that. Okay, I can accept that. Even if we defeat him, he's too difficult to destroy completely or annihilate completely. I mean, where's this going? Then she says that even after some decades or centuries, he potentially could revive himself. And I'm like, oh, no. No. Don't do that thing. Don't do that like constant rebirth thing. Like you can never truly destroy this darkness. This darkness will constantly reincarnate in a new form and always come back. And there'll always have to be more heroes later down the line. And it's up to us to train the next generation so thou lest never forget. Don't do that. Please don't do that. That could have been good had this arc not been handled like a big ball of shit. But at this point, no, that's wrong. And then, so I'm worried about that. And then literally, after Merlin gives that explanation, let me just say that again. The Demon King is a god after all. Even if we destroy him, or even if we defeat him, we cannot destroy or annihilate him completely. After a number of decades or centuries, he could revive. The next thing she says is, don't worry, there is a way to annihilate him completely. Right, Meliodas? That's a good Pinot Grigio. New Zealand. Okay. You know what? Let's make peace. The Demon King is destroyed. The Demon King is dead. If this doesn't confirm it, if between last chapter and this chapter, we saw like 3 versions of him die. We saw the original version without a helmet and stuff fade away into nothing at the end of the last chapter. We saw this one, the end result of the final combo attack of the 7 Deadly Sins, destroy the mountain version, the ugly, grotesque Davy Jones looking thing. Very well drawn, cool design, but you know what I mean. And now we're seeing the Ten Commandments thing that should never have been a thing. Like the way that Nakabe utilized it, they are going to be completely eradicated. That's what I have to take away from this, because the dialogue is telling me can't destroy him, and 2 panels later, but we can destroy him. So why tell us we can defeat him, but we can't destroy him, and then say, but we're going to destroy him anyways? God, it's hard to like Merlin. It's like, who likes Merlin anymore? Like, I like Merlin as a character, but Nakaba's treatment and the Game Shark bullshit and the terrible dialogue that just doesn't make sense. Holy god damn it. Just, sometimes I can't get over it. Anyways, this goes on. Meliodas basically turns into, man, Nakaba, stop. This chapter was okay. You did it. You destroyed the Demon King. It can't be as bad as 300. It can't be as bad as 331. But why are you trying to top yourself? Why are you trying to make it difficult to just go, the chapter was average. The chapter was 5 out of 10. You can't even do that without every 2 pages giving us another issue that I have to sit here and bitch about, when I tried at the beginning of this video to say, Hey, let's take away the silver lining. Let's take that big W. We have the defeat of the Demon King, the thing we've been wanting for over a year. It's done. It's over. This is great. How can this chapter be not a good chapter as a result of giving us that? That one fact should fix everything. But every couple of panels to pages, Nakaba is doing something else. Meliodas then proceeds to go into God form, or whatever you guys are calling it. Power Ranger spandex with weird demon arms. Goes into this form. Now apparently it's not. It's got nothing to do with the Demon King's power. It's actually Meliodas' original magical power. By the looks of this translation, according to Zeldris, this is the extent of your original power, and that makes it even all the worse. Because that means Meliodas could have fixed every problem had he not been a bitch and awakened this power this whole time. This entire fight. This entire lack of tension fighting. He could have done this. He could have done anything. If this were the case, he could have fought the Demon King from day one with this power. Remember, he chose to go evil instead of just using this power. Just remember that. So I'm not seeing where, am I missing something? Am I forgetting some dialogue that said, oh no, he couldn't have had this power unless he had absorbed the Ten Commandments first? Because the way the Demon King made it sound is, oh, you were so afraid. And he's like, you're right, I was afraid to use this power, my original magical power, but I'm not afraid anymore. Great for you, Meliodas, but that implies that he always had this. So, and the fact that, okay, so he did have this. He did have this form. We knew he had this form, and this entire fight, he chose not to use it. The fight that it comparatively destroyed the undestroyable, according to Merlin a page ago, he can literally just crush, I'm going to use all my level of Demon King powers. Zeldris is like, this surpasses even Father's power. It's like, yeah, it does. Boom, 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 I'm going to completely eradicate this version of the Demon King. I'm done. Crush. It's so hard to dislike it because it's like, Demon King's gone. That's a win, right? But God form, he could have used the whole time for all I know, for 3,000 years of this series. Since the Holy War, he could have activated this form by the... I mean, that might be stretching it, but I didn't read an explanation. Once again, I haven't reread the series. Maybe I have to go back, so don't quote me on this, guys. Don't get too salty. Don't get mad. But from my right now understanding, this is his original magical power. Nothing to do with absorbing the Ten Commandments. And had he not been afraid, for some reason, according to himself and the Demon King in Purgatory, he could have used this power this entire time. And I don't see a point where he wouldn't have had access to it. No, really, guys, I like this chapter. Demon King's dead, we get a W. No. Okay, moving on. Demon King's dead. Meliodas, Zeldris going to stop him for a second there for some weird reason. Why would Zeldris do this? Zeldris knows, we all know his reasoning. We all know the way he wants to do things. Why would he bring this up? He's like, oh, you could take Father's place and stuff. Why would he stop him from I don't know, I love Zeldris, I love Meliodas, but I felt that this exchange was kind of weird. The exchange after this, because Zeldris, just to fill up pages, stops him right before destroying. He's like, hey, why are you doing this? Okay, wait a minute. He's stopping him from destroying the Demon King with no detrimental effects afterwards from what we see. And all he's stopping him for isn't to say, hey, why don't you absorb that and take it for your own and then you can take the throne or something. He's not stopping him last minute because he's like, that's our father, or you should use that power, or something along those lines. He's literally stopping him from doing the thing that they both want, that happens anyway, just to say, whoa, hold on a sec, bro. Before you go ahead and do that and give the Demon King another chance to escape, third time's a charm, so you're as strong as Dad? You sure you don't want that throne? No, we don't want power. We're good, brother, right? Yeah, you're right. Never mind. Let go. Just continue. Sorry I interrupted. Captain Obvious over here interrupting. And then... maybe it's because it's late. It's getting late, and I've been waiting for this chapter to drop for a while. It's been a busy weekend. It's been a busy day already, so maybe I'm just a little tired. But the last couple pages are nice. Zeldris, Meliodas talking about having a celebratory drink together. He says, well, maybe if it's one-on-one, because remember, that's a bit of a callback to the fact that he wanted to, drink with his brother sort of idea and stuff like that, like ask him what's his favorite ale and stuff like that, and he wants to go one-on-one with him, like that. That's nice, because they're like, yeah, and they're acting like brothers and Gelda and Elizabeth, and people are looking on going, oh, this is nice, and Meliodas is like, yeah, come on, let's go home, pretty much. Will this all be screwed up by the fact that Mama Hawk didn't arrive in time, and maybe she's just going to go, now that Demon King is destroyed, the Boar's kingdom shall rise, or something like that. Is that what we're getting next chapter? I don't know. I still don't know. I don't have any confirmation and can't believe if the series is going to end in 2 chapters or it's got another 200 in it. I have no clue. Last couple pages were fine. Once again, it just seems like all these things kind of add up to nitpicks between the lake thing, the Merlin thing, the Mile thing, the God form showing back up thing, Merlin's bad explanation. Well, I already said Merlin, but basically Merlin's bad explanation as to this thing is undestroyable, but Meliodas, we're going to destroy it. Yeah! Zeldris stopping him to do it with no reference to anything to do with destroying that thing. I don't know. The chapter had problems. The chapter had holes. Nothing on the level of 331 or 300, though, nonetheless. And I can't take away the goddamn great feeling that the Demon King is finally done. We've seen 3 versions of this guy die in the last 2 chapters. He's dead. He's done like dinner. There are no more vessels. There are no more sons. There are no more last sinners, original demons, anybody like that alive. Everybody is dead. Everyone who should be alive is alive. Escanor, I forgot to mention Escanor. Escanor is there, burning his life away, still in Ultimate 1 form. And it'd be great if he actually died. I hate to see it, but it will be bad storytelling if he survives, and it'll ruin the ending chapter on his character. And the sacrifice was in vain. Sacrifice was in vain because Meliodas, not using God mode, used assault mode this whole time. Escanor had no reason to go into Ultimate 1. Could have been written for a good reason while Meliodas was in the mental world, as I said, but no. No. So Escanor, noble sacrifice for nothing. And if he doesn't die, it's going to be bullshit. If he does die, it was still wasted. So there's no way out of this. It's like, which one do you guys prefer? There's a lesser of 2 evils when it comes to Escanor here. There's not a good choice and a bad choice. They're both bad. It's which one do you hate the least? That being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the chapter review. This one went on way longer than I wanted it to, and I still have to get through the stuff. So, yeah, brand new Discord. Open it this weekend, as I think I already said it halfway through the review. Link will be in the description down below. I'm trying to be in there as much as I can, but I'm not fully in charge. I'm more like the crown, the figurehead, the Queen Elizabeth, if you would. I got some great moderators in One Above All, Chubb, and Greek God. I've got those 3 right now. Might be more later on. They're basically managing together with a few other guys. They're managing the Discord right now for me, setting it all up, making it a good place and stuff. It's just a place with a little less toxicity and a little less, I'm not a big fan of when you're debating with someone. Don't insult someone based on their opinion. Everybody's got their biases. Everybody's got opinions. Just everyone try to be civil, enjoy a good time. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in talking with me and some other guys that I talk to frequently about anime, manga, video games, whatever is on the news, link will be in the description down below and stuff. Don't really know how that works because invites expire and all that fun jazz. But either way, I'm sure we can figure something out. Let me know if the link breaks or whatever in the comment section down below if you would like to join. That being said, that's enough shameless plugging. This has been Griever with your Behind the Bar reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell notification. If you guys want to know every single time I drop a video. I believe Greek God also set up in the Discord that it should automatically, every time I upload a video to YouTube, it will also ping everyone in the Discord who's a part of it that I've uploaded a video as well, if that's easier for you. We're trying this out. We're going to find out today. And anyways, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, drink responsibly as always. The chapter still has a W. It still has a highlight. The chapter had problems. The chapter was not good. But at the end of the day, Demon King is dead. That's what I'm taking away from it, guys. Have a good night.